Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new DC Collectibles Penguin from their Batman the Animated Series line. Another iconic villain from the Batman franchise, immortalized here in the actual animated series, and brought to life now in an absolutely fantastic looking action figure. This guy is one that I was really looking forward to. Penguin's always been kind of a weird favorite of mine. Honestly, probably since Batman Returns, where Danny DeVito just nailed the character. And that really gave a lot of life to how Oswald Cobblepot was portrayed in the animated series. But you can see very large figure, and the package is much larger than what we got before. It sticks out just a little bit more to kind of work with his overall girth. But you can see that he's number 15 in this new wave. And again, very collector-friendly package. You got the penguin here along the side. You got the little hanging tag in case you want to hang it from a wall. You got the air vents here on the side that allow air to not really get stale in there and, make any of the plastic or anything brittle. You come around here to the back and you've got that nice Batman animated series kind of silhouette of Batman right there. And then as with all of them, you have the various warnings and things of that nature right there. So really very cool. He doesn't seem to come with a heck of a lot. I mean, I'm seeing a cup and a spoon, couple hands, obviously his display stand, and then you got an umbrella, and then it looks like an open umbrella. So basically all you would really need, but I think a lot of the cost for this figure went in the tooling for the body himself. So it's really very cool. I can't wait. So without further ado, let's get this guy open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Penguin open up and out of its packaging. And much like all the figures, you do get the paperwork. Again, I don't know if they necessarily count this. His package actually specifically says that he comes with 15 pieces. And I don't know. I still think that's kind of a stretch, but you open this up, you got a nice image here of the Batman animated series as well as the new Batman Adventures. Come around here to the back, you've got some future figures as well as the current wave, and it specifically says that this Penguin is featured from the episode The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne, which also, if I remember correctly, featured Dr. Hugo Strange, if I'm not mistaken. And then you get the instructions showing you how to attach things and how he's got this kind of display option or something like that. Like I said though, it says 15 pieces, so again, counting these, you got 3 that make up the display stand. I think, honestly, I think that's kind of a cheap way of kind of hyping the amount of accessories that you get, because honestly, it's really just one accessory that you have to put together. I guess they get away with it because, yes, it is 3 separate pieces, and the packaging says 15 pieces, but I think that that's pretty cheap, honestly. Same thing here with his opened up umbrella. It comes in 2 parts, but you're not going to use this or this just by itself. You're going to attach it, but basically you have a total of 5 pieces just here in 2 basic accessories. So 5, you got 1 umbrella here that's closed, you got 6, you got 2 kind of relaxed hands that I currently have on the figure, and then you have 2 fists, and you also have 2 kind of grasping hands that he can use to hold on to his umbrella. So that's basically 12 pieces. Again, you get a very episode specific accessory, that being his little cup and spoon. Nice paint job on this. I really like the metallic paint that the spoon also has. I mean, really pretty nice, and look, you can do that if you want to. So basically this is 13 and 14, and then the body is 15. So again, pretty strange how they actually do it. The figure actually is pretty impressive. This is funny though, because the girth of this guy is pretty gargantuan, and then you have this display thing that it can't even go around his body. I mean, this is completely pointless, and he stands perfectly fine, so you don't really need a display stand or cradle or anything like that. So that whole thing is kind of pointless. But this guy really is massive, and because of how big he is a little bit more limited in terms of the articulation, but the detail overall is pretty nice. Now, one thing that I am kind of disappointed in is he doesn't come with a little cigar, or that fancy cigar where the cigarette, I'm sorry, the cigarette is at the end of a little pipe thing, and it gives it a really long kind of cigarette look. He should have one of those. Maybe put a little hole in there so that you could put it in there. That would be very nice, but he always had that little cigarette in his mouth, and that was something that I kind of hope that this had. Now, he does come with his little monocle on there, which I thought is a really nice touch. I mean, you can see that it's kind of just attached there to his face, but he definitely should have a cigarette. I mean, that's just, it's Penguin, and obviously he does have more of that Danny DeVito look. This came out after after that 1991, I think, Batman Returns film where Danny DeVito played the Penguin and you had Catwoman in it. So there's a lot of influence in this, especially in the fact that, you know, his hands are flippers, much like Danny DeVito's was. So a lot of that inspiration for that animated series came from those Tim Burton movies, and I really do like it. I think it's very cool, but his articulation is a little bit more limited. You can see the head is a bit on a ball joint, so you can kind of get him tilting a little bit. It can rotate. You kind of have to hold there to get it around, but not a lot of range of motion. It's really tight in there. And then his hair is here. It's a little bit softer of a hair piece, but it is a little hindering. This jacket here on the outside is a little bit soft. You can see that it flexes, so I don't know why that helps anything. It really doesn't, but it's nice that it's a softer goods. I like his little tie right there. The shoulders move out about that far. They do rotate all the way around. He can bend here at the elbow. He also rotates at the elbow as well. And then you get the wrists that rotate. You can move it forward and back. One thing that's strange is he's got a little slot right here. I don't know what that's for, but it's there, so put that in there. Waist-wise, he has no waist articulation. It doesn't rotate, but his hips do move forward. They don't really move back. Again, all very bulky. I guess it moves back a little bit, not a heck of a lot, honestly. It just kind of goes back to the original position, but it doesn't move in and out. It doesn't he doesn't rotate. He doesn't really even have knees, so I don't know why they would need to put knee joints in there. And then the ankles kind of tilt. I want to say that they could rotate, but you can see that the feet are molded up where the bottom of his pants are, so you're not going to get a lot of articulation anyhow with it. All in all, I mean, it is a great looking figure, very limited, and I kind of expected that, but the best look for this guy, I mean, you could take this, you can have him, this is a little tricky to do, but holding his umbrella, because you can't really rotate that down, so you can maybe have him hold his umbrella like that. I suppose you could do it. You can't really get it over his head. He doesn't have a hand for that, but you can take this umbrella, rotate this around, kind of position that in there like so, and you can get something like that. I mean, that's a cool look for him, and honestly I think that that's the best pose option for the guy. I mean, he is limited in his articulation, but honestly, like I said, it's one of those things where I guess I don't really expect all that much articulation in him just because of what he is. He's a very large-bodied figure. You got some nice paint there on the side there. He's a very large-bodied figure. I am kind of annoyed that his little umbrella tip here is a little bit bent, so you could probably flex that back and get it in a proper position. But I mean, all in all, this is a real good figure. I think that it comes across very nicely. It is one of those things where I'm definitely thinking that the price is reflected in just how big he is. And honestly, I was just looking at the little stand here, and you can see that even here he actually does have his little cigarette on there. So yeah, again, yeah, that would have been a nice accessory to have in there. But I think that the price is justified in the fact that he's a very large figure. Now, he's definitely missing several articulation points, so I guess you're kind of weighing things. Should they have made him a cheaper figure because there was less tooling involved with this, or is it the right price because of how big he is? Unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a toy manufacturer, so I can't tell you the cost associated with it, but I just feel that it should be a little bit cheaper because there's less parts involved with them. I also think that, you know, going around and counting things like this and this as two separate pieces just to create one accessory is kind of cheap, honestly. All in all, I mean, I do like the figure. I think that if you're a Batman fan, you're going to want to pick this up. And I'm not disappointed that I got him. I just think that it could have been done a little bit better, I suppose. But if this is a guy that you want to pick up, you probably aren't going to find him at places like Toys R Us or Walmart. You're going to have to go to comic book shops where the price really can vary for these. Or as usual, you can go to Big Bad Toy Store. And all you have to do for that is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS where you can check out availability on this guy as well as the rest of the DC collectible figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.